My husband Enrique is an airline pilot. One of the perks his company offers is a free round-trip domestic ticket for family members once a year. But in the 5 years we've been married, I never used that benefit. Enrique always told me he had given the ticket to coworkers who needed it more. Until one day, I saw a message on his phone sent by the airline. Enrique, your family ticket has been successfully redeemed. December 20th, 10 a.m. from North City to City C. Please confirm the names of the family members. Wife Margarita, son Leonardo. I froze. Enrique had another family. Our vow to grow old together ended in the 5th year of our marriage. I grabbed my phone and called a senior colleague. I'm in. I'll join your research project. See you in a week. After that, Enrique flew all over the world, but he never found me again. Chapter 1. Honey, what time are you coming home today? Our son and I are waiting for you for dinner. Don't forget it's his 3rd birthday. Don't you dare show up without a gift. And remember to bring something for your lovely wife too, or I'll be mad. I love you. I stared at Enrique's phone, which he had accidentally left behind in his rush. The screen lit up again and again with new notifications, but I felt like I was trapped in a freezer completely numb. North City was 1,000 kilometers away. It was part of his usual route twice a week. And now I finally understood. He had another home there. Another wife. Another son. And that child was turning 3 today. Wife, Margarita. Son, Leonardo. That line hit me like a hammer. My vision blurred, I couldn't think straight. Then Enrique called. Love, I'm at the airport. I left my phone at home. I have an hour before the flight to North City. Can you bring it? No one's called or texted me, right? I dug my nails into my palm to keep from shaking. It doesn't look like the battery died, I said. He sounded relieved. Perfect. Turn it off to save the battery. Thanks for bringing it, love. When I arrived at the airport, the crew hadn't boarded yet. Enrique came running, grabbed the phone, and gave me a quick kiss. Thanks, sweetheart. You're the best. He was in full uniform, impeccable, handsome. He always seemed to groom himself a little extra before flying to North City. Even wore cologne, something he never did at home. She must have liked that scent. I turned my face away. You went heavy on the cologne today. He hesitated, as if about to say something, but just then a few colleagues noticed him and smiled. Enrique, still so sweet to your wife after all these years. He grinned and wrapped his arm around my shoulders. Jealous, aren't you? You'd better find someone as amazing as my wife. I forced a smile and stepped back. You should go. I'm heading home. Straighten your tie, I teased. My husband is too handsome. You fly to North City, so often don't let some desperate woman steal you. Enrique playfully pinched my nose. Jealous little thing. Relax with someone like you. I'll never need anyone else. As he and his colleagues walked toward security, my smile froze. What I really wanted to ask was, really? Am I enough? Then, what about Margarita? As it rose into the sky, I pulled out my phone and logged into Enrique's WeChat account. We had always trusted each other. We never checked each other's phones, so he had given me all his passwords without hesitation. He believed I'd never invade his privacy. And he was right until I stopped believing he loved me. To me, he was nothing now. No worse than nothing. His pinned contact at the very top was called Wifey, but it wasn't me. I opened the profile. A family photo appeared, Enrique holding a delicate-looking woman and a boy who looked exactly like him. I remembered how not long after we married, I had suggested having a child. And what had Enrique said? Love, a pregnancy would ruin your body. I couldn't bear to see you suffer. Let's not have kids, I just want your love. Back then, I thought I had found the perfect man. Now I know sweet words can hide poison. It wasn't that he didn't want children. He just didn't want one with me. The Enrique that everyone saw as the perfect husband, the one who adored his wife, wasn't just adoring me, he adored another woman too. Everything was perfectly calculated. Judging by the child's age, their relationship had lasted at least 4 years, which meant that not long after we married, he was already cheating on me. We met on an airplane. The moment he stepped out of the cockpit and I saw him, I felt that every love story in every soap opera paled compared to ours. It was love at first sight. We fell for each other so quickly that it shocked everyone, and we married on impulse. Many didn't believe in us, said we were rushing things, but in the midst of all those doubts, we were happy for 5 years. Every day felt like we were still on our honeymoon. Last year, Enrique's mother was diagnosed with leukemia and needed a bone marrow transplant. All of his relatives and friends got tested, and to everyone's surprise, the only match was me. At that moment, I had just become pregnant. Enrique knelt before me, crying like a child. "Roma, please save my mother. There will be more chances for us to have children." I loved Enrique. I was willing to give him everything. Without hesitation, I ended the pregnancy, prepared for surgery, and donated my marrow to his mother. But because of my condition, the doctors said my chances of becoming pregnant again were very low. Chapter 3. When I woke up from the operation, Enrique had just landed and came rushing into the hospital. Outside my room, he took my hand, pressed his face into my palm, and wept like a child while swearing, "Roma, marrying you is the greatest blessing of my life. I swear I'll always take care of you. I'll never fail you." Looking back now, that moment so full of love was nothing but Aleja had just left Margarita's bed and come straight to his official wife. He hadn't asked for a divorce because I was still useful. His mother could relapse at any moment, and having me close by like a living bone marrow bank was convenient and safe. I don't even know how I managed to get home. In that house Enrique and I shared, I sat in silence until the ring of my phone pulled me out of my trance. It was Enrique, 1,000 kilometers away, his voice soft as water. "Love, I've arrived in North City. Go to bed early and have a cup of hot milk, okay?" From the other end of the line, I heard a little voice say, "Papa." And then a sweet woman's voice followed, "Honey, come to Mama." I gripped the phone tight and forced myself to sound natural. "Why is there a child calling you Papa?" He chuckled playfully. "I just got to the hotel at someone else's kid checking in too. Anyway, love, I need to register now. Get some rest. I love you." Then he hung up. It felt like someone ripped my heart straight out of my chest. How happy Enrique must have been out there, a young wife, a little son, a perfect family in his arms. I used to imagine that one day we would have a child, with Enrique's big eyes and straight nose, with my shiny hair. A child who would hold our hands and call us Mom and Dad. I wrapped my arms around my belly as if I could still feel the tiny life that once came and left because we sacrificed it. Now nothing was left. Only me. Using my secondary WeChat account, I added Margarita. On her profile wall, I saw her latest post, a happy family of 3. 9 perfectly edited photos, Enrique with her and their child. Birthday cake, beautiful gifts, a home full of tenderness. A scene anyone would envy. Many friends had liked it. And then I saw them among the profile pictures that had given likes were several of Enrique's coworkers, including the one at the airport who had told me Enrique adored me. I let out a bitter laugh as tears streamed down my face. So everyone knew he had another family. Everyone except me. I felt like a joke. How could they look me in the eyes and let me live in that lie like a fool? I hurled the phone to the floor in rage and clutched my chest. Why does it still hurt for someone like him? The tears wouldn't stop. That day I cried as if I wanted to exhaust every tear I would ever have for the future. When I finally calmed down, daylight was already breaking outside. I picked up the phone and dialed a number. "Brother, am I still in time to join your research team?" On the other end, he nearly shouted in surprise. "Do you really want to join?" I smiled. "Yes, brother. See you in a week." When Enrique returned the next day, he brought a gift and placed it before me. "Love, I brought you a necklace. I picked it especially for you. Do you like it?" I didn't even open the box. I already knew exactly what it was. Margarita had uploaded a picture of the very same necklace with a mocking caption, "A perfect gift for a gray, needy woman." Enrique opened the box in front of me. "Do you like it?" I glanced at it. Exactly the same as in her post. As he leaned closer, I noticed a red mark behind his ear. A wave of nausea overwhelmed me. I shoved him away and ran to the bathroom to vomit uncontrollably. Enrique followed me in, worried. "What's wrong? Are you sick? I'll take you to the hospital right now." I looked at his anxious face, and for a moment I wanted to ask, do you care about my health or just that I might not be able to donate marrow for your mother anymore? But I said nothing. Chapter 4. That night he tried to be affectionate with me. I pushed him away coldly. I don't feel well. Sleep in the guest room. Since the moment I discovered he had another woman, every time he tried to touch me, I felt nauseous. I looked at the calendar. It was almost time. Soon the flight he had booked with that free family ticket would take off. I only had to endure a little longer, and then there would be nothing binding us anymore. Enrique told me, I have to travel to City C for work. If you're not feeling well, maybe I shouldn't go. I looked at him and said, it's fine. It's just my stomach. I'll take some medicine. Go ahead. But don't forget to bring me a gift. On the day of his trip, I drove him to the airport. He kissed me. I'll definitely bring you something precious. A colleague of his teased from the side, but it's only a work trip. I smiled. You haven't had breakfast. I'll buy you a coffee. There were still 30 minutes left. I didn't want to stay with him, so I used that as an excuse to step away. When I came back with the coffee, I saw him talking with his back turned to me, chatting with his colleague. The man said, you really have a talent. You tell Roma it's a business trip, but in reality you're going on vacation with the other woman and the kid. The amazing thing is that it's been years and Roma still hasn't found out. You've hidden everything perfectly. Enrique laughed. Roma is blindly in love with me. She loves me so much it would never cross her mind that I could have someone else. But please keep your mouth shut. After all, she saved my mother's life. I don't want people saying I'm ungrateful. His colleague chuckled. Relax. We've been covering for you for years, haven't we? But honestly, Roma really is quite naive. How could I not have realized that my husband was spending half the week with another woman? How naive, what a fool I was. My legs felt like they were made of cement, and I dragged myself behind a column, leaning against it, holding back the flood of tears that wanted to escape. Fortunately, I had already suffered enough so when I left, it wouldn't hurt as much. When I walked him to security, I stepped back with a smile. I prepared a surprise for you. You'll see it when you return. Goodbye, Enrique Hahn. He looked at me, confused, sensing something unusual. You called me by my full name? What are you up to now? Well, as soon as I finish this trip, I'll come straight back. I love you, wife. The first day after he left, I began packing my things, only taking the essentials. Clothes, documents. The rest, they were just objects. The second day, I called a cleaning company and asked them to remove every trace of me from that house if I had never lived there. The third day, I gathered all our photos' wedding, trip sand threw them into a bucket in the garden, burning them until not a single one remained. I scattered the ashes into the flowers like fertilizer. The fourth day, I printed out every photo Margarita had posted her, Enrique, and their son smiling happily, and I covered every wall of every room with them, filling the house with the perfect family. On the fifth day, I went to see a lawyer. We drafted the divorce agreement. I signed it, pressed my fingerprint, and left it clearly visible on the living room table. On the sixth day, I placed the house keys on the table, picked up my suitcase, closed the door, and walked away to where my elder brother from the research team was waiting for me. Chapter 5. The entire research team stayed at the hotel since we would depart together the next day. From my room, I turned on my phone and added Margarita on WeChat. In the notes I put, Roma. I was sure she already knew who I was, and it didn't take long for her to accept. She sent me a message. Roma? I never thought we'd have contact. And now you couldn't hold back anymore? After so many years, you finally came looking for me? So impatient after all. I asked her only one question. When did it start between you two? Her reply was shameless and provocative. Don't tell me you only just found out Leo and I exist? Ha ha ha. Roma, it was only a matter of time before he left you. For years of infidelity and you never noticed? From the very first day I met Enrique, I already knew about you. Because of Enrique, I had a son. I made sure to win his heart, to make him unable to live without me. Look at us. Every year, he takes me and my son traveling. Did he ever take you? Every year, on those family tickets, the official wife was always me. Did you really think you were special? He only kept you because you were still useful for something. I cut off her arrogance with a single message. I only wrote to tell you I'm gone. If you want the title of Mrs. Han, it's yours to earn. Make Enrique sign the divorce papers. I never wrote to her again. I turned off my phone. Our team's destination was a remote area hidden deep in the mountains, almost cut off from the outside world. A teammate asked me, "Once we enter, we'll be gone for almost a year. Sometimes you may make one call. Is your husband okay with this?" I smiled faintly and lifted my left hand, newly free of its ring. "I'm divorced. Don't worry, I'm free. I can stay in the mountains as long as necessary." He hesitated for a moment, but said nothing. The day after I left, Enrique returned home. The moment he opened the door, he froze. The color drained from his face as he stared at walls plastered with photos of him, Margarita and Leonardo. Stumbling back in shock, he shouted, "Roma."
Roma.
No answer. Only the echo of his voice filled the empty house. He ran into the bedroom. All my belongings were gone: clothes, shoes, my mug, my towel, even my toothbrushes, if I had never existed there at all. With trembling hands, he tore a photo from the wall, a smiling image of the three of them together. Then it hit him. I already knew. And while he was away on his trip with Margarita and their child, I had left silently. He collapsed onto the sofa. No, it can't be Roma. He dialed my number, but the phone was turned off. Then his eyes landed on the documents on the table, my wedding ring, and the divorce agreement signed by me. On top was a note. "Enrique, once you sign, deliver this to lawyer Chan. She will handle the entire process." He called Chan immediately. She was my friend. Hearing her voice on the other end, he shouted, "Where is Roma? Where is she?" Chan answered calmly, "Mr. Han, where Roma is no longer matters. She doesn't want to see you. Do you really believe that after your infidelity, she would still wait for you?" I need to explain it wasn't like that. Enrique cried. Chan replied, "Roma was clear. If you refuse to sign, we will sue. I have full authorization to proceed. We can charge you with adultery, and with that child, possibly even bigamy. One DNA test is enough." Chapter 6. Enrique, as Roma's lawyer, I will handle the divorce completely. She made it clear. She will never see you again. And as her friend, I'll say one thing: how dare you think you have explanations to give? Explanations for what? For being married to her for 5 years while secretly cheating with another woman for 4? For having a 3-year-old child? For spending Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at home, and Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays up north with the other? What are you? A master of time management. When you sign the divorce contract, notify me. There's nothing more to discuss. Enrique called me like a madman, but unfortunately for him, I had turned off my phone. It was as if I had vanished from the world. He never heard from me again. He even went to my parents' house to look for me. My mother, her eyes red from crying, screamed at him, "Get out. If it weren't for your betrayal, would my daughter have left without a trace? What did she ever do wrong to your family, Han? To save your mother's life, she aborted a 2-month-old baby, suffered the consequences, and now she can't have children. And you? All the while, you kept a mistress and had a child with her. Didn't you already have everything you wanted? What was my daughter to you? A bone marrow bank for your family. Use her, then discard her? Is that how you repay the woman who saved your mother's life? With betrayal? You are the worst kind of ingrate. Get out." My mother, hands on her hips, shouted, "And you still have the nerve to come looking for my daughter? You're trash, nothing but trash. If I see you again, I'll smash that empty head of yours." With a broom, she struck him again and again, driving him down the stairs and out of the building. The neighbors gathered as Enrique was thrown out onto the street. Dozens of eyes watched him with contempt, whispering among themselves, "Is that Roma's husband? He always looked so proper. How could he cheat? Didn't you hear? Not only did he cheat, he even had a child with another woman. Shameless. Poor Roma. She gave up her job for him, got pregnant, and still aborted to donate bone marrow to her mother-in-law. Such injustice. This man deserves a beating, a real one. He's the very definition of a scoundrel."
Disgusting.
He'd better never come looking for Roma again. If he returns, we won't hold back. My parents still lived in the same neighborhood, and everyone there had watched me grow up. No one pitied Enrique. Under a hail of insults, he fled in disgrace. He went around asking all of his acquaintances about my whereabouts until finally one of them told him I had joined a confidential research team. Without 1 or 2 years, I wouldn't be able to leave. Do you know what confidential means? It meant that unless I wanted to contact him, he could never find me. He even tried to track my name through passenger lists of every airline, searching for some clue about me, but he had no luck. He never found me again. As for me, I gave myself completely to my research. I buried myself in work, and that feeling, it was wonderful. I worked with such intensity that even my lab partner grew worried. Hey, even if you're divorced, you don't have to work yourself to death. We get one vacation a year. You could step outside, breathe, or at least visit your parents. It's already been a year. They must be worried too. Go home for a couple of days, all right? When I finally stepped outside into the world again and reached a zone with signal, I turned on my phone and was immediately flooded with missed calls and WeChat messages. Nearly all of them were from Enrique. Since he couldn't call me, he poured out messages instead. Roma, I'm sorry. Please, give me a chance to explain. Love, I really do love you. I was wrong. Please forgive me. I was drunk. It wasn't intentional, Roma. Where are you? Come home, please. Curse me, hit me if you want, but don't ignore me. Love, I was wrong. Who would have thought Margarita was so useless? Even after a year, Margarita still hadn't managed to get Enrique to sign the divorce papers. Chapter 7. I blocked Enrique on WeChat. I didn't want to read another word from him. I called Lawyer Chan, who told me Enrique still hadn't signed the divorce agreement. But she also explained, by the time you finish your work, the 2-year separation will already be complete. Even without his signature, you'll still be able to divorce him. I returned to my parents' house, but what I didn't expect was Enrique intercepting me right outside the residential complex. His eyes were bloodshot as he ran toward me. Love, where have you been? I stepped back, avoiding his attempt to embrace me. Enrique, where I've been, does it still have anything to do with you? He insisted desperately. You're my wife. How could it not? I looked at him with scorn. Wife. Now it matters where I go? Then tell me, where were you during those 4 years you spent 3 days a week in the north with another woman? When you had a child with her, did you think that had anything to do with me? Now that we're divorcing, suddenly it matters? Is your world built on double standards, Enrique? Do you have even a shred of dignity left? Looking lost, he pleaded. Love, I was wrong. Can't you forgive me? Rage nearly made me laugh. Enrique, you still don't understand. I didn't report you for bigamy because you disgust me. I don't want to see you for even a second more, nor waste my time entangling with you. The best thing is for you to sign the divorce agreement quickly. If you keep delaying, we'll meet in court and it won't be so easy for you then. Enrique grabbed me tightly.
No.
I don't want a divorce. Do you know what it was like searching for you for a year? I was going insane. You can't imagine how much you mean to me. Roma, no one can replace you. I know I was wrong. I can't lose you. Please, forgive me. What happened with her was a mistake, a moment of confusion. Love, think of our history, our feelings. You still love me, don't you? This whole year I've done nothing but think of you. I regret everything so much. I'm truly sorry. Didn't you once say you would love me forever and never leave me? You know how much I love you. What I feel for her and the child isn't love. It's just responsibility, nothing more. I tore myself free from his grip. And then what? We don't divorce and you keep your happy family at home while keeping a mistress outside? And your son? Do you throw him away too? He lowered his voice. I'll give them money to live on their own. I swear if you don't allow it, I won't see them again. Please, give me another chance. Suddenly, a handbag smacked the back of his head. What did you just say, Enrique? That you're going to abandon me and your son? You made me have this child, and now you won't take responsibility? Didn't you say you'd divorce Roma and marry me? And now you back out. Enrique hadn't expected Margarita to appear with their son. Little Leonardo ran to him and clung to his leg. Papa, don't you love Mama and me anymore? Why don't you love me? You said we were what you loved most, that you would marry Mama and I would be the flower boy at your wedding. Enrique awkwardly tried to push him away. Leo, go back to Mama for now. Papa will talk to her and explain everything. I watched it all with a cold smile. Enrique, you are truly revolting. I've never seen a man as shameless as you. He gripped me hard, shaking his head. Roma, I've already spoken to her. I told her I wanted to end it. I'm not signing the divorce. I don't care if you scream or hit May won't sign. Suddenly Margarita screamed in desperation. Roma, don't believe him. He doesn't want a divorce because his mother's leukemia has relapsed. He wants your bone marrow again. Margarita's words left Enrique in stunned silence. His face darkened, and he glared at her with a ferocious expression. I let out a cold laugh. So that's it, Enrique? You won't divorce me because you need another bone marrow donation? And you'd go this far just for that? I stepped back.
What a pity, Enrique.
I'm pregnant. And this time, I won't abort for you. Don't even think about another donation. Enraged, his face twisted as he shouted. Pregnant? With who? I'm your husband and I haven't seen you in a year. How can you be pregnant?
Did you cheat?
Are you carrying another man's child? Have you no shame? I smiled calmly. And what? Is that not fair? You had a child with another woman, but I can't have one with another man? You felt no shame when you did it, but I'm supposed to feel shame now? This child is mine alone. It has nothing to do with you. He will carry my surname. He lunged at me, gripping me tightly. Abort it. I'll forgive you. We can start over, okay? I love you. I swear I forgive you this time. Just leave that man, and I'll leave Margarita too.
Slap.
I struck him across the face with all my strength. Enrique, where's your dignity? Your boundaries? Could you be any more despicable, any lower? No one will ever touch my child. That is my business and mine alone. A bone marrow transplant cannot be forced. Forget it, Enrique. I will not save your mother a second time. No one has the right to manipulate me with moral blackmail. After all, a transplant is voluntary and I do not want to. Hear me clearly, Enrique. I do not want to. With that, I tore my hand free and walked into the neighborhood without looking back. He didn't follow me because he was already locked in a fight with Margarita. He slapped her so hard she fell to the ground, then dragged her up by the arm. Why did you come? Why did you tell her about my mother? If anything happens to her, I'll never forgive you. Margarita stared at him as if he were a stranger. She never could have imagined that the man who whispered sweet words to her every day for years now looked at her with hatred, his eyes murderous. Do you know how hard it is to find a compatible bone marrow donor? And Roma turned out to be the match for my mother. With just a few words, you destroyed her last hope of survival. Get out, Margarita. Get as far away as you can. Margarita clutched Leonardo in her arms, sobbing. Enrique, I waited for you all these years. How can you be so cruel? Are you even human anymore? Do you want your son to grow up a bastard? Roma is pregnant by another man. She will never save your mother again. Even if you beg, she won't return. To you, your mother is always the most important, isn't she? But what about me and your child? Your mother is already doomed. Why keep humiliating yourself before Roma? From a distance, I watched them screaming, shoving, tearing each other apart. I smiled faintly, my hand resting on my stomach. The truth was I wasn't pregnant. I had no lover. I made it all up to shatter Enrique's last shred of hope. After all the times he had used me, this time it was I who taught him what it meant to spit at the sky and have it fall back in your face. The next morning, before sunrise, I left my parents' house and returned to the research team in the mountains. I knew that if I stayed one more day, Enrique wouldn't stop harassing me. My appearance had given him false hope, and my sudden disappearance shattered it into dust. Only then could he taste true despair. A year later, when I completed the scientific project and returned to the city, Lawyer Chan came to see me. She told me that Enrique's mother, whose leukemia had relapsed, never received a second transplant and had passed away. Enrique fell apart. He couldn't find me and could only watch helplessly as his mother's last spark of hope faded and died. The truth was, the doctors had already warned us during the first transplant that her body could only endure one. If the disease returned, a second attempt would have been meaningless. But that I will never tell him. I want him to live with that guilt for the rest of his life, for his conscience to never know peace. He drowned in regret, convinced that if he hadn't betrayed me, I wouldn't have left, and if I hadn't left, his mother would have had another chance to live. He believed it was all his fault, that his betrayal was the root of the tragedy, that because of him his mother lost her life. That thought nearly drove him insane. Enrique eventually signed the divorce papers. But he never married Margarita. He hated her, blamed her for speaking the truth, for destroying the only chance of me returning. Chapter 9. Margarita herself was on the verge of madness. She took her son to the airline where Enrique worked and caused a scandal. Holding the boy, she sat in the director's office, sobbing uncontrollably. When I met him, I didn't know he was married.
He lied to me.
He said he had no wife. It wasn't until after I became pregnant that he confessed.
By then I was 5 or 6 months along.
I couldn't abort, so I had to have the baby. He promised me he'd divorce her and marry me, but now he avoids me, refuses to marry, refuses even to pay child support. If you don't resolve this, I'll go live. I'll let the world see how your airline covers up for an irresponsible man like him. Enrique was summoned to the office. When he saw Margarita and the boy, his eyes burned with fury. What are you doing here? Haven't you ruined me enough? Hearing what Margarita had told his superiors, his face turned ashen. That I lied to you? From the very first time we met, you seduced me into bed. I wore my wedding ring. Didn't you know I was married? You said yourself you didn't care about status, that you only wanted to be with me. And when you got pregnant, you started pressuring me to divorce. You knew perfectly well I was married. Stop pretending to be innocent. Have some shame. Their fight was chaos, and the news of their affair and illegitimate child spread like wildfire. Many of Enrique's co-workers had always seen him as a responsible and loving husband. And now, suddenly, the truth came out that he had been unfaithful barely a year after getting married, and that he had even fathered a child. The scandal caused by Margarita brought severe consequences for Enrique at the airline. Added to that was the fact that after his mother's death, his emotional state had become dangerously unstable. During one flight, distracted, he nearly caused an accident. The airline suspended him from duty and placed him on leave, forcing him to stay home. Enrique shut himself inside, refusing to see anyone. But Margarita showed up at his door with the child in her arms. With bloodshot eyes, Enrique shouted, "What more do you want? Haven't you ruined me enough? I lost my job. My mother is dead because of you. What more do you want?" Margarita pushed the boy toward him. "Enrique, this is your son. You don't want to marry me or pay support. Then raise him yourself." Enrique shoved him away with disgust. "Just because you say he's mine, I have to take responsibility? We're not married. I have no obligation to that boy." Pushed back and forth, little Leonardo burst into desperate tears. Neighbors came out to witness the chaos. With his face flushed red, Enrique screamed, "Margarita, you destroyed my life. There's nothing between us. I will never marry you. Understand that once and for all. You say the boy is mine, but if you were willing to be my mistress, knowing I was married, who's to say you didn't do the same with someone else? I don't even know if that child is mine. I don't want him. Don't ever come looking for me again." With that, Bam slammed the door shut. Margarita was left crying with her child on the doorstep. But this time there was no one to console her. No one listened. I learned everything that happened between Enrique and Margarita through Lawyer Chan. Margarita left the boy with Enrique's grandparents, saying only one sentence: "This is Enrique's son, the grandson of the Han family." And she walked away without looking back. She camped for days outside Enrique's building, living in a rented car, waiting. Finally, when Enrique stepped outside, she floored the gas pedal and sped straight at him, her face twisted in madness. "Enrique, if you won't keep your promise, then let's go to hell together as husband and wife." She rammed into him violently. Enrique died instantly. As for Margarita, she crashed into a concrete pillar. She was taken to the hospital, but didn't survive. When the news reached me, I was preparing to lead a new research project. I smiled faintly. These kinds of tangled, tragic, destructive loves, they no longer interested me. They had nothing to do with me. I picked up my suitcase and walked toward the group of colleagues waiting for me. A new journey, a new chapter, had just begun.